Imagine this. A woman who swore to love and honor her husband ends up stealing his entire company worth $14 million. Then, 5 long years later, her husband returns, and what he does next leaves the entire courtroom speechless. This is the story of Marcus and Elena Reynolds. It was a rainy Friday evening in Seattle when Marcus Reynolds came home early to surprise his wife. He had just closed a $3.2 million deal, the biggest of his career. He wanted to celebrate with Elena, the woman he had loved since college. But when he walked into their beautiful waterfront home, he found something that froze his blood. All the drawers were open, important files were missing, his laptop was gone. And on the dining table was a single handwritten note. "I'm sorry, Marcus, I had no choice." By Monday morning, Marcus discovered the full horror. His wife Elena, who was the CFO of his company, had spent the last 18 months secretly transferring ownership, forging documents, and moving millions into offshore accounts. She had sold the entire company to a competitor for $14 million and disappeared without a trace, not just the company. She had also cleaned out their joint accounts, their house, and even wiped out Marcus's personal retirement fund. Within 30 days, Marcus lost everything: his business, his home, his savings, and his reputation. The man who once employed 87 people was now living in a tiny studio apartment, driving for Uber just to eat. For 5 years, Marcus lived like a ghost. He worked 2 jobs, barely slept, and spent every free hour studying law, forensic accounting, and cybersecurity. People told him to move on. His own mother begged him to forget Elena and start a new life. But Marcus couldn't forget. On the morning of March 12th, exactly 5 years after the day she betrayed him, Marcus walked into a federal courthouse in downtown Seattle wearing a sharp black suit. Elena was there too, now married to the CEO of the company she had sold Marcus's business to. She was smiling, confident, and dripping in designer clothes. Until she saw Marcus. Her face turned white. What happened in that courtroom over the next 4 hours shocked everyone present, including the judge. Marcus didn't just bring proof that Elena had stolen the company. He brought irrefutable evidence that she had been planning the betrayal for over 2 years, even before their marriage. He showed bank records, secret emails, and recorded phone calls. He proved she had used their marriage as nothing more than a business strategy. The judge was stunned, but the most jaw-dropping moment came at the very end. When the judge asked Marcus what punishment he wanted for his ex-wife, everyone expected him to demand millions in damages and years in prison. Instead, Marcus stood up calmly and said these words that still give people chills. "Your Honor, I don't want her money. I don't want her to go to jail. I just want one thing." He turned and looked Elena straight in the eyes for the first time in 5 years. "I want her to stand here today and tell every person in this room why she destroyed the man who loved her more than anything in this world." The courtroom fell completely silent. Elena broke down in tears. For the first time in 5 years, she had no clever lies left. In front of her new husband, the judge, and 23 other people, she confessed everything: how she had never truly loved Marcus, how she had used him, and how she had planned the theft even before their wedding day. The judge didn't send her to prison that day, but the damage was far worse. Her new husband divorced her within weeks. Her reputation in the entire Seattle business community was destroyed. Within months, she lost everything she had stolen, because Marcus had spent 5 years quietly building an even stronger company, and he bought back his original business for just $2.4 million, a fraction of what she had sold it for. The final twist? The day Marcus got his company back, he did something no one saw coming. He transferred 10% ownership to every single employee who had lost their jobs when Elena stole the company. And on his desk, he kept that same handwritten note she left him 5 years ago, as a reminder that real power isn't revenge, it's becoming the man she could never destroy.